السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد خاتم النبيين وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. MashaAllah. Thank you for we were just on a retreat, and the teacher, Shaykh Imam Muhammad, was talking, and he was saying, subhanallah, our goal in life is to reflect the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to reflect the attributes of Allah, they are most perfectly reflected in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was never late. He was never late. Like, he was always where he needed to be, at the moment he needed to be, at the time he needed to be. And he was talking about, we had a pretty intense schedule. Jamil was there, right? It's like 5-minute break, go, come back. And he made a point of saying, subhanallah, one of the prophetic attributes is to be on time. In fact, our teacher says that if you're on time, you're late. My father says the same thing. Because if you arrive at the time of salah and they say Allahu Akbar, are you on time? You've missed all the preparation. You haven't got yourself in the right mindset. You haven't entered into the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're kind of coming in, fiddling and so on. To come and to actually prepare is the process itself, right? To be there. And it's interesting because I've been theorizing about this in many of the talks. We treat our religion as this unique thing compared to everything else we do in life. If you turn up late at work, what would your colleagues do? How would your boss treat you? If your boss is expecting you at a meeting at 9 o'clock and you arrive 9 o'clock and you just start getting the tea and you sit down, what would the reaction be? If you were there at a presentation, if the kickoff for the football match was 1 minute late. I remember once there was a Liverpool match that was delayed because they were late getting into the stadium, and there was this whole thing about big kick. They had to do an investigation. What happened? We don't expect that from our dunya, do we? But for our deen, Shaitan has convinced us otherwise. And what he does, and one of the things about the end of times, is the Prophet ﷺ talks about qalb al-haqa'iq. The truths, the realities are tipped on their head. A man is a woman. Everything is subjective. Everything is down to what you do. And you see this so often with things when it comes to religious matters. That when it comes to religion, everything else, if I was to be a lawyer, she won't mind me saying this. We were working, we have a business, and I was saying we need to draft a contract. She goes, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to write. Immediately, I can't. But if I tell you to write a fatwa, Snapchat, once I heard some young people here talking about it's sunnah to wrestle in the masjid, and there's a hadith and this, that and the other. And I was like, brothers, wait. One of you's 14, one of you's 15. And I'm pretty sure your knowledge of hadith is limited to maybe a few hadith. But we're very quick to give a legal verdict in religion. But in anything else, if I was working on HS2, if I came and I started even commenting on the motorway traffic and how annoying it is and these bridges, and you'd all immediately stop and say that's inappropriate. And it's subhanallah, if we take things that are religious and we remove religion from them, they become acceptable. How many of us have heard the craze of meditation? You know, Tony Robbins, when Sheikh Tony Robbins says it, he meditates 5 minutes every day and he's talking to Oprah Winfrey. Everyone's like, oh, I need to do this meditation thing. Because Sheikh Tony Robbins, who's a big scholar of money, tells us, and he's benefited. And then you hear it on Diary of a CEO. Oh, it's Diary of a CEO. Oh, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. Oh, this person is succeeding. He's doing this thing.